Hello and welcome to the Game Debate, where we'll be providing you with all the opinion on Preston sports teams. This week we're looking at Preston North End, and manager Graham Westley has recently promised fans that next season will see his side maintain a promotion push. Now what we're asking today is that a realistic ambition? Liam, you've been covering Preston for us for the last few weeks. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it certainly is a realistic ambition. I mean, you look at a club the size of Preston North End in League One, then the question is why aren't they doing it this season? And of course that's been well documented, the reasons for that. But with the Sheffield teams fighting for promotion, Charlton looking like they've got it sealed, and other big clubs looking like they may be exiting the division, and some of the clubs who are coming down, like the likes of Doncaster and Portsmouth side that's been ravaged by a lack of money, it looks like the division could be easier, and in that sense Preston should be in a prime position to gain promotion next season.
Well, Callum, Liam spoke of the positives there, but as he mentioned there have been quite a lot of negatives around Preston at the moment. They're not in great form, they're hovering in mid-table. Many fans would have expected more of a promotion push this season. How do you think they can go from, or do you think they even can go from this disappointing campaign to then a more successful one next season?
Well, there'd be a big jump to begin with, and personally I don't think they can do it. I mean, Liam alluded on to the main point there, and to be blunt, the skin. They've got no money, they can't bring players in, or they can but on loan, and they're from, say, Torquay, or rather they're from League 2, so realistically if they want to go up to the Championship they've got to say, right, well, let's get the money sorted, let's bring in some Championship experience, let's steady the ship, so to speak, not take a punt on, you know, people from lower leagues. Some may whip but most flop. They've just really got to just steady the ship, man. This year especially, the season has been terrible, so I think, you know, is it a case of, you know, whistling in the wind? Probably not going to happen.
Liam Callum even spoke there about the taking players from lower leagues, and Wesley himself has come from the lower leagues. He's enjoyed the majority of the success down there. Do you think that he is capable of recreating that success at this level?
Absolutely. I mean, the evidence is there. Just because he sources players from lower leagues or has looked to do so doesn't mean that there aren't gems to be found down there. I mean, you look at Peterborough, have made lots of success from doing exactly that. You know, Craig McHale-Smith, who now plays for Brighton, from lower league. George Boyd came from non-league, and then there's other teams as well who've also done it. So I don't see there's any reason why Preston can't use the lower leagues and the non-league as a source of players, especially to get out of League One. I mean, like you said, they are skint, and but there are two types of skint in League One. There are the paupers, such as the likes of Bury and Rochdale and Stevenage, who are the small clubs in the league, who really don't have anything at all. Whereas Preston, while they may not be at their financial height over the last few years, they're certainly a bigger club, and they have the resources to go into the non-league and get these players. So it's certainly a way to form a basis of a squad that can be taken up into the Championship, and I think it could work.
There'll obviously be new players coming in and players going out. Wesley's spoken of the need to slash his squad. It's clear that he feels he has to move a lot of players on. Do you think that changing the squad so much is the right thing to be doing before making a promotion push? Will they be able to gel in time?
Well, you know, upheaval sometimes works. We've seen teams in the past that have chopped and changed so much that they've got players you never recognised, say 3 or 4 years previously, and it's got into high divisions. But taking Liam's point on board though at Peterborough, the problem with Peterborough was they had pretty much all of United's academy to call upon as well, whereas Preston don't have a similar kind of flood of. Alright, they have young players coming through, but they've not got the Ferguson touch, if you want to put it that way. You know, they're just players who, yeah, at lower league may do a job, but can get to Championship and flop and be, you know, awful. There could be another Eddie Lewis, could be another Carl Hawley. So, you know, it's too much of a risk. And like I said, if you're going to chop and change so much, then you're going to have to take time to gel and time to set away playing, you know, the formation, defending, attacking, all that jazz as well. Yeah, it's just going to be too soon, I think is probably the best way to say it.
Preston seem to have been on a bit of a downward curve over the past few years. Do you think that the players who are necessary to get them out of this division are going to want to come to this club anymore, given the strength of the teams you mentioned coming down? There's going to be a lot of competition for signings in this league.
Yeah, certainly, but like you said, like Callum just said about the Ferguson touch, well, it's not having the Ferguson touch the way forward, because the downward spiral you just mentioned arguably started with the Ferguson touch, and that's the way it went when they had a lot of United players at their disposal, the young players. They filled the team with them, and it was down ever since. So it can't be that much of a bad thing to be competing with other teams in League One for players. Look, if it comes to a straight fight between most of the teams in League One, if it comes to the choice of going to Hartlepool or going to Preston, then you're going to go to Preston, aren't you? And the infrastructure's there, even though they are certainly not rolling around in the cash at the minute, but the infrastructure's there, and it's a big club for the size of the thing, so they're always going to be in a good, favourable position when it comes to competing for players. So I don't see a problem with not having the Ferguson touch, so to speak, and if anything, that will help halt the downward spiral that has been in the club, especially if they slash the squad.
The fans obviously on Wesley's back at the moment. He's getting a lot of criticism. He's getting some decent results, but it's nothing like they would have expected. Do you think he was just saying this to appease the fans and get them off his back? Because it is quite a big claim to make.
I'd say yeah, considering the circumstances. I mean, we spoke, and a lot of fans have spoke about the amount of goalless draws, or the complete lack of goals they seem to score at the moment. I think that this almost negative style of play isn't helping them. I'm not saying they should go out and be all expansive like Brazil and go on, play two at the back or whatever, but they've got to find a way where they can sensibly just be solid at the back, score the odd goal or two up front that might nick them games 1-0 rather than just drawing 0-0 all the time. And I just think that he's getting flack, but people say too soon, but I think for the right reasons really. He's coming in with Stevenage, you got him flying from the conference to League One, and with Preston, I wouldn't say they're sinking without a trace, but they're slowly sinking. Preston's like a lifeboat, like a rubber dinghy, but someone's put the cigar in, and it's going down, and it's going to sink one day. It's just a case of when now.
Okay, well, following on from that, Liam, do you, in a similar way, do you think that Wesley's setting himself up for a fall with this claim? If Preston start next season badly, surely he's going to have more pressure on him, rather than if he just, not come out with this, set his expectations a little bit lower, give himself that more time that he really needs at the moment.
No, not at all. Graham Westley is an ambitious man and has communicated that ever since he walked into the job. He's not had a chance to make the changes that he wanted to do. He said with Stevenage that he built the club up over a period of time, and when it worked straight through. And he can't do the same thing he did at Stevenage, because Stevenage, they had a big squad in terms of height, not in terms of number, and they played in a certain way on a certain field, and it's very different at PNE. But like Alan Hansen will tell you, you always build a good team from the back, and that's exactly what Wesley's trying to do. Alright, it's been boring at the minute, but he'll keep them up, and then he's got the summer to get out some of the flab from the squad that's accumulated over the last few years, bringing his old players from lower leagues if needs be, and he can definitely sustain a promotion push given the time to get the things he needs in place.
Do you think that one of the positives Wesley has instilled is he is at least making Preston difficult to beat? There haven't been too many games where they've been turned over under his tenure. We saw last night they drew 0-0 at Carlisle despite being battered, in the words of one of the Carlisle players. Do you think that's one thing that's going in his favour?
Well, it's positivity. I mean, it's being stable at the back obviously is going to help, but at the end of the day, you can be as solid as you want at the back, but if you don't score goals, you couldn't go a season 46 games long and draw 46 games and say that's a good season. You'd say we've drawn 46 games, we've not had a cutting edge, we've not had a bit of flow, a bit of skill, a bit of something different up front. So defence is important, but attack's really more important, because what they always say, though, goals win your games. Right, conceding goals stops you from losing games clearly, but they need something going forward. They need an out-and-out striker. They need someone like Hume to be firing, or they need to get Mullan back from injury quicker, or get Proctor up and running, or the other Cummins, sorry. They need people to stay firing, not just once every like 3 or 4 games. They need like a goal every game. Really, I know it's impossible, but they need someone who's got such a goal scoring touch that he could literally go out and say, right, forget half a chance, and I'll put it away.
Okay, so finally to give some kind of replication of what Wesley said, Liam, I know it's very early, but will Preston go up next season?
Thanks for putting me on the spot there, Sean. Like I said, the competition will be weaker, I think. He'll have had time, he'll have built the squad he wanted, and stuff like the goal scoring touch, you know, he may find that striker, he may know that striker already, just waiting to bring him in. So I think given the time, and with a diminished quality in League One next season, that they'll be in pole position to go up.
Diminished quality because Rochdale may be heading out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And finally, Callum, you disagreed with the claims of Wesley. In your opinion, what needs to change between now and the start of next season if Preston are to make a solid promotion push?
They just need, like we said before, defensively they seem to be reasonably okay, but going forward they've been too harsh, nothing really. I'm not going to say, I could do a better job, or you or Liam could do a better job up front, but they need somebody, they need the Mellor of old really, the Mellor from however many years ago at Liverpool, he's got that golden air, so never said he set the world alight, but surely in League One, if he finds his goal scoring touch and just stays injury free, surely he could fire them up. But I just think that it's just too soon, and I think the Mellor of old as well is just, where is he? They've been looking for him, but they can't find him. So what do you do?
Indeed, what do you do? Callum, Liam, thank you very much for joining me. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for today, but for all the latest Preston sporting news, don't forget to follow us on Twitter @TheGameUClan, and remember to pick up your copy of The Game every Saturday. Thank you.